having to go in and talk to them, after losing the first round.
27 for Rudy Gobert.
We missed wide open threes. We missed a couple shots at the rim.
Wow, a blown miss bunny by Luka.
Minnesota is going to win this series and knock out the Lakers 4-1.
Shocking here.
Since my first NBA Finals appearance, I think in 2007, every season that I did not make it to the finals or did not win a championship has been a disappointment.
The Timberwolves finished off the Lakers last night with a 103-96 win in Game 5. Anthony Edwards averaged 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists in a playoff series for the 4th time in his career, while Luka Doncic became the 4th player to average 30 points in his first 5 playoff games for the Lakers. Perk, tell me this. After this series, yes?
I was going to say, I just want to show, before you ask Perk a question, I just want to say for the record, LeBron looked incredibly disappointed. Did you see him? He looked incredibly disappointed. He really did.
Don't be a troll.
He just looked disappointed. I'm just saying. He looked disappointed. Not. Let's go on.
Are you done?
He didn't look that disappointed.
Get this over with.
Are you done?
Look, it's like, let's get it over with.
Let's go on vacation. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do it.
Hey, Perk, just ignore him. I'm talking
Perk, I don't know if he's wrong knowing that, Perk.
I don't know.
If you see the way they defend it, if you see the way they defend it, I might be tired too.
Molly,
Can I start the debate? Tell me. Yeah, go ahead.
All I want to know is how much time do I got since we got a stopwatch on today's show? Just let me know how much time.
Oh my goodness.
Perk, man, I was actually looking at the watch and stuff like that. I was like, did you know the watch is pretty fly? But I would like Perk to get me a watch. You know what I'm saying?
He's doing just fine enough with all his watches.
It'd be nice for Perk to buy me a watch. That's what
his watch is doing just fine. Every time he take it out, I get blinded.
All right, Stephen A., you're the last person on this set that needs handouts. Can we get focused now as a group?
No,
okay, Perk, tell me this.
You could treat.
After this series, are you higher on Ant or down on Luka?
Oh, I was high on Ant when I was on First Take Monday morning, and I told you he's a better basketball player than Luka, and that he will win a championship before Luka. I'm more down on Luka, because I don't know if he's going to get better at the things he needs to get better at. I don't know if he's going to make the necessary sacrifices that he needs to make in the offseason for us getting into shape, conditioning, cutting out some of the bad habits right outside of the lines. That is my concern when it comes to Luka. Look, Luka is a walking bucket. We all get that. But defensively, that what he displayed and what he's displayed since he's gotten to the NBA, it is horrible and it is embarrassing.
Bless you.
And when you look around the league and you look at all the young superstars at the wing position, Cade Cunningham, Ja Morant, SGA, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they all compete and play both for. Luka is the only one that does it.
I'm always going to tell you that I love players who try to lock you up and light you up at the same time, Herb. Like, that's just how I'm built, who I am. And I'm not an extremist. I'm not that type of person. But I do feel passionate about this. And maybe the only other player, because at least Steph tried at times in his prime, was probably James Harden a little bit, but also the entire offense ran through him, similar to Luka. I've never felt so excited about a player offensively and then so disgusted what you see defensively. Like, some of these plays, if I were to watch tape with you guys, are really bad. Now, I'm not saying you can't win a championship that way, KP, because you have to build the pieces around him and the deficiencies, similar to how Dallas has it. But I ain't betting on that. I'm betting on the player that, especially when you give somebody the bag, they have to lead you on both sides of it. And that's who Anthony Edwards is to me. So I'm higher on Anthony than I am on Luka.
Well, let me say this couple of things. You didn't strike me as a moderate. I don't view you as a moderate. One side or the other is going to be you, as opposed to, you in the middle right there. I just want to throw that out, all right?
Interesting.
Having said all of that, I'm more down on Luka, but not Luka the person. Luka's game on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Luka's need to ball hog because he ain't trying to move but so much without the ball. See, Steph could come up the court and give it to somebody and run all over the place. Not to say that LeBron James is interested in doing that, but LeBron James resembled a wideout for a third of the season because once Luka arrived, hell, you know, you could put him in the post, you could put him on the wing, you could push the ball up the court, whatever, and he'll make it. He'll do whatever he needed to do. Luka, is phenomenal as he is relatively one-dimensional. He's got the ball in his hands. That's when he's effective. When it's not in his hands, he's not going to do but so much because he's not going to have a lot of movement without the basketball. He's not going to wear you down, and he's certainly not going to hurt you defensively. And when you look at the fact that he is now a Los Angeles Laker, and he is the heir apparent to LeBron James in Los Angeles for the foreseeable future, obviously there's a question mark in that regard because of the liability he is on one side of the ball, plus his need to have the ball in his hands. And then we have to take into consideration, again, Nico and how Nico looks today.
Yeah, that's where I want to go right now, and I'm coming to you with that, Perk. Nico Harrison clearly ripped apart for trading away Luka. How do you view him now?
How I viewed him when he made the trade. I said that I gave a slight edge to the Dallas Mavericks when Nico made the trade, because if they were healthy right now, we would be having a different conversation about the Dallas Mavericks. That's number one. Number two, he's right. Defense does win championships. And I think what showed Nico was what Luka displayed in the NBA Finals, right? The way that the Boston Celtics exposed him. And then you got to think about, think about Nico history, right? Who he's been around, who he was attached to, right? It's a reason that this trade happened and nobody knew about it. Who was Kobe Bryant's agent? Jay Will, Stephen A?
Rob
Pelinka.
Okay. Who was Kobe Bryant Nike rep?
Nico.
And one of his best friends.
So he's been around a guy that has a killer mentality and know what it looks like, right? And so when he see Luka and he see his habits, and now we hear the reports about Luka gained weight while he was sidelined with the Dallas Mavericks because of an injury, and that was the breaking point for Nico. We get it now because it's unfair. And Stephen A., you just talked about it. How you're able to be a liability defensively, but you get to dribble the oxygen out of the damn basketball offensively while guys stand around, but they got to cover and play their behinds off time and time again to make up for your liability defensively.
The other thing that we have to point to is that certainly everything that you said about Luka was absolutely on point. We also have to give credit where credit is due to Nico in terms of what he had around Luka in Dallas.
First place.
If it were not for Daniel Gafford, if it were not for Derek Lively, if it were not for those cats, if you didn't have what was Luka lacking last night? I saw Luka actually giving effort sometimes on defense. It wasn't effective, but I saw him actually giving effort at least sometimes on the defensive side of the ball. But the Lakers didn't have a rim protector. Dallas did. And so when you look at it from that standpoint,